here somewhere. Oh, they're on their way down. So Robert was like, screw it, let's wing it till they get here. Thank you guys for standing in line and coming to the, I guess this is sort of a Talking Dead. It's really a Walking Dead panel, though.
I think legally we're not allowed to call it Talking Dead.
It's Thank you for coming to Walking Dead, the comic spawn from the show The Talking Dead. Is that not an accurate phrase?
It's weird that you're standing if it's just going to be me.
Robert has this weird clause in his contract. No one's allowed to sit next to him. He just has to have a full table. So, I know, just off like this.
Let's just stand up and use the same mic.
Okay. This will be even less. This will be even less awkward than when I jumped into your arms on that interview the other day and suckled your teeth while you patted me like an infant. That actually happened.
For the people that didn't see that, that sounds pretty weird.
It also was pretty weird. It doesn't just sound weird.
I don't think I'm going to do this much longer.
No, I think you stay back there, and when Steve and Norman get in here, we all just kind of pile on like a totem. And then we'll just talk up and down.
We'll be like a Walking Dead Voltron.
Oh my God, that would be amazing! Robots? Are we going to see robots in Walking Dead? That would be awesome.
You got no clue, man. Season 3 is going to be pretty wild.
I want you to shoot. I want you to do the episode of Walking Dead that you did in the comic where you like made them all superheroes. Just to fuck with that one guy.
Just to fuck with that one guy. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Soon the panel will be starting. This is just a pre-show.
My favorite thing about this right now is that people came in after I said what I was doing when I came up here to share the mic with you, so they just walked in and saw us doing this like it was normal.
Yeah.
That's good.
Chris and Robert have a unique relationship. They always have to be touching one another. It's not bad. Thanks for coming to Image Expo too. Image Expo has been so fantastic.
It rocks, right? It's really good.
Well, because my girlfriend and I got in last night and we were walking the floor and I'm like, oh, this is a comic con. Like it's comics. It's not, you know.
The actors aren't even at the panels they're supposed to be at.
That's how street this is and real. Like the actors don't. But just that, I think it's good. I think as a whole, it's sort of good for, you know, culturally for all the stuff that we love. That, you know, there's such an interest in some of the, you know, the huge glitzy cons. But it's also nice to be able to come to a purely comic and toy convention. And I bought a crap load of art last night from people, and it's just, you can talk to people. It's really nice. Did you set this up?
Yes, it was all me.
Good job.
No, I had nothing to do with it. No, this is, Image Comics, working with a comic promoter named Jimmy J, put this magic together, so they should get the praise.
Yeah.
Because they sure would have gotten the blame.
I think it's good. Are you guys all Oakland-based humans? Oh, yes and no. Where did you guys come in from? Oh, you came from Sacramento. You came across the bridge. Yeah. How'd you make it over here? I just looking across at San Francisco, I have those weird thoughts like, what if there were apocalypse right now and I just saw San Francisco just go, phew, just like all the power shut down. Like, oh shit, what do I do? I'm in Oakland. What? I don't know. I just start looking around and be like, okay, who wants to repopulate? I don't know what to do. Don't you do that? I have like these weird zombie or like apocalypse escape plans where you go anywhere and you're like, all right, exits, weapon, this could be a weapon, and then instant repopulation. I guess Norman.
I just texted Stephen Yeun and I said, panel, question mark? And he wrote back and said, yup.
Oh, I thought you were just giving us a trip to Oakland to see its many I went to the Pete's Coffee across the street this morning and saw a tall Asian guy pushing a bike around with headphones on and a microphone, and he was just rapping to some music that no one else could hear. That was kind of fun. Oh, I should have videoed that.
Steven says, we are on the way, waiting for Norman. Yeah, I think we're waiting for Norman. What's going on?
On the way, just leaving LAX. What?
Yeah, I'm gonna write it back and say, take your time.
So how's the season been going for you so far, since we're talking about...
Right now I'm texting Stephen Yeun.
Oh. That's pretty much how the season's been going.
I'll tell you the weird thing for me right now is that season 2 is still going on, and I'm like totally working on season 3. And so people ask me questions about season 2, and I'm like, oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah. Well, while we're here, can you tell us everything about season 3 in detail?
Well, I can tell you something big about season 3. I don't know if you guys have been online at all, but it was totally announced yesterday that a fine British actor by the name of David Morrissey is going to be playing, I don't even have to say it, he's going to be playing the governor in season 3.
I remember David Morrissey from, he was in one of the Christmas episodes of Doctor Who.
What?
The next Doctor.
Yeah, that guy's going to bring it.
It's a sonic screwdriver. See, it makes noise.
So I guess that means the governor's going to be in season 3? I don't really know.
I know, maybe.
That's what I'm inferring from that.
I liked all those rumors, but it's fun. I think maybe this was in San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, the rumors.
Well, the rumors are fun, and especially with a show like this, where people, because the show has deviated from the comic, and so people are just constantly trying to guess what the touch points are going to be. But last year, someone was like, dude, Merle is the governor? And you were like, no. But I love the rumor mill. Even last year, after the first season of the show, people are already trying to figure out where it's going and what the touch points are. And I sometimes, when I'm doing Talking Dead, sort of lose track of like, okay, wait, so this happened in the show, but this didn't happen in the comic book. Like, how do you keep the two universes separated in your...
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Yeun and Norman!
Oh, there they are.
The Image Expo has pyrotechnics!
No, was that supposed to be like a flash pop and you guys are going to appear in the smoke? Because it didn't work.
Smell that?
Yeah. What? Smell? Did you fart? Oh.
Dude, not another one! That's the worst! That's gonna smell so bad.
A fart bomb.
Why would you? Hey, so I can also tell you that in season 3, Glenn and Daryl died?
Well, it actually happens between season 2 and 3. You don't see it happening.
It's the worst! Okay, so... Hold on. No,
It is terrible.
okay, everyone please calm down for a moment. Let me just get control. Hold on.
Yeah?
Steven, you're 15 minutes late for the panel, and you decide, hey, I'm gonna come in with these fart bombs and drop these smelly things that explode and stink up the place.
I'm going to be late and
That was your remedy? That was your remedy for being late?
Wait, just break the tension.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
There's more fart-based tension now. It smells really bad.
The irresponsibility that these actors are exhibiting right now is just appalling to me.
So when it smells so bad, it really is. It's bad. Like if a fart could take a shit, then it would be that smell.
How bad is that, right?
Oh my God.
All right, let's get this.
Sulfur farts.
Let's try and be mature here, fight through it, and get this thing back on track.
Where did you get those? Fart bomb? Is there a fart bomb store? It is rough. You're sitting on it. Did it get on anybody? Because that, I don't know. That smell's never going to go away.
It's like it's in my hand.
Yeah, it is. All right. I'll go back.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Well, that's all the time we have.
Thanks for
Thank you.
coming.
Ask a question.
That was awesome.
We are going to take a bunch of questions, though. There is a microphone at the center of the room, so just I want to make we'll chat for a little bit, but obviously
It smells so bad.
it really does. It really does.
Hold on the street, Norman and I were walking back with these things. We're like, this is such a good idea. This is so good.
This is the first time it's ever been good to have a seat in the back. Okay, get it going. Let's stop talking about this. Let's talk about The Walking Dead. AMC is going to fire us all.
Okay. These are what zombies smell like.
That's better. Keep it going.
Zombies bad. Humans good. So it really has. We're only 2 episodes into the second half of the second season, and I think already the show has been friggin' amazing the last 2 episodes. The first season, we actually, by the way, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's been happening in the episode, so if you're not caught up, there will be spoilers.
Sorry about your luck.
Some guy sent me a thing on Twitter, mad because we talked about what happened in that Godfather 2, and I'm like, he was like, thanks for spoiling, hashtag not really thanking you. And I'm like, if you haven't watched the movie in 38 years, suck it. So we're going to talk about stuff that's happened on Walking Dead. Totally did not see the Sophia storyline ending that way. Totally did not see that. Now on Talking Dead we have that creepy Sophia Barnyard set piece. But Norman, that storyline in particular was super dense for Daryl, and I feel like what we're kind of seeing happen in these last 2 episodes is him really trying to come to grips with that. Like, it seemed like he was opening up and kind of being cool, being part of the group, and it just seems like he's all shut off again.
Yeah, that was a big deal, losing Sophia. I think Daryl has a storyline that he was an abused kid and he was left in the woods himself, and I think finding Sophia would have cleared up a lot of the ghosts in his closet, so to speak. So yeah, he's kind of pulling away at this point.
Every time I see you and Carol there, I'm like, this is the episode we're going to make out. Like, it looks like...
I want to cut her ear off at some point.
you rip her ear off and put it on the necklace?
Yeah. I just want Melissa to walk around with no ear.
But not explain it.
Yeah.
Where's your ear? It's right here.
Hey, I have an internet question.
Sure.
What's shit mean? What does it mean? I mean, I just found out what fat means recently.
What fat?
Yeah, fat, I just fat is like fat.
Right. Kids, that can mean anything. Whatever, they're gonna learn.
But what's shit? Like relationship is,
What's the word?
Shipping?
Shipping?
Yeah, it's like a Twitter thing, you know, stuff. Dirty fuckers.
So, no, you seem quite eager. It's about the sex. Whatever. So, do you feel like, I mean, you know things that are going to happen that we don't know, but without giving anything away, what do you think, what can you say you think is going on between your character and her character?
Well, I mean, I said it before. You know, I think damaged people gravitate towards damaged people, and she and I are a lot alike our characters. There's a lot of, you know, abuse, and you can keep a lot of quiet moments to yourself, and we're more observers than outspoken people. So I think that's what's up. I mean, I think it would be too obvious to have us shit.
Yeah. Excellently thrown into conversation.
What is
going on in Cruise, man?
Maybe not so much.
Well, if the ship doesn't work out, you can...
I'll tackle my own time.
Yeah. Does Daryl just need a hug? Does he just... I mean, that basically is what she's trying to do to him.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty much sucking all the oxygen out of his lungs, you know. But yeah, I think he finds validation in other ways. I think, you know, I don't think he needs to. I think that's sort of the last thing on his mind, you know. But I don't know. It's a zombie apocalypse, so it's every fat for yourself.
Steve, I have to apologize, because I'm such a huge fan of the show, that when you were on Talking Dead last week, and I was like, so Glenn, when you're in the scenes, shit, like I told you Glenn.
Take offense at all.
Okay. I see Glenn's character, you know, especially now that Sophia's gone, as sort of the he feels like the beacon of hope in the group. How do you see him?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think he's figuring that out. I think right now, I think I said before, this is kind of the turning point for everyone when Sophia we found Sophia as a zombie. But now it's Glenn's point where he kind of figures out where he wants to go. Like, does he want to keep living carelessly, kind of on the edge, willing to give up his life for other people, or does he have to kind of reassess and see that maybe he wants to live a little bit longer because he has people to live for now?
It's interesting that, you know, something like this zombie apocalypse happened, and then all of a sudden, I feel like Glenn is one of the characters. It's so funny to watch like Rick and Shane go at each other, and they, you know, Shane's like he's not a real man, not a real man. It's like Glenn's kind of the guy who's the man. Like he goes into wells, he has sex with farmers' daughters in pharmacies. It's like sex, zombie kill with a shelf. Like that's man stuff. That's what men do. Do you feel like he's sort of, this has actually just kind of made him figure out who he is as a dude?
Yeah, I mean, I think every step, every new thing that occurs, it kind of changes him more and more, and I think he's on this arc right now. But, you know, to hedge that, I've kept my arms really little, so that, you know, like, my arms are so little that,
This is a caricature.
I mean, he's doing cool things, but he has such little arms that it's probably... It's alright, it's alright.
Was that when you cast Steve? Were you like, well, we need little arms for Glenn, so was it?
Yeah, we were asking people if they could make their arms smaller, and then we told him. And we were like, oh, sweet, it's already been done.
How do you like? Because I don't know if a lot of people know. Steve is like a master improviser, and you. No, you are.
You can tell. Fart bombs and pop and snap.
I reached for the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, someone's old-timey phone is calling. Hello, contact center 349. That's a good reminder to So you're already working on season 3, season 2 for you.
That's in the rearview mirror, man.
It's totally the rearview mirror.
Don't ask me any questions. I don't even remember it.
You remember.
I know. I'm just kidding. I will say this. I believe everyone agrees that the 2 episodes since we've come back have been pretty awesome. I think my 2 fellow Walking Dead showmakers can attest that they really haven't seen anything yet, right? Like the stuff coming up is so much crazier.
It's all fireworks.
Yeah, it's
Fireworks and fire bombs.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more pharmacy sex and more shelf zombie killing and motorcycle riding and handsome being.
They stumble into a zombie Chinatown and buy fireworks.
It's true. It's going to be great. But anyway, did you have a question in there?
No. I know that people who are in the Talking Dead offices who've seen, I don't watch ahead, because I feel like people take for granted now, where you could just watch anything all at once, and I really like week to week looking forward to each episode.
Have you watched tomorrow's episode?
I haven't yet. I know. Well, there's no DVD player in the hotel room, so but I have it. But I just haven't been able to watch
Next year we'll do this in a different hotel just for you.
Yeah, please.
Hotel with
I need a DVD player. My life is hard. It's really hard, you guys. How am I supposed to watch it? Just when people from the Talking Dead come in, they're like, oh my God, you have no idea what's going to happen on the end of the day. That's exactly what I said. No, these are cynical writers, and they said they can't believe some of the stuff that's coming up on the episode. Is there anything that you can tease for the next 4 episodes?
Oh, I tell you, tomorrow night's episode is going to be a pretty big blowout. There's a little bit of fisticuffs going on between someone whose first name starts with an R and someone else whose first name starts with an S. So that's going to be pretty explosive. And then from there, there's just a whole lot of crazy coming. I honestly can't spoil anything. I don't know. There's a lot of big stuff coming.
I've been fascinated to watch Laurie's character in the television show, which I think is very different from comic book Laurie, because just that episode where she's literally pushing what you think is Shane's developing baby onto Rick's back while going, he's poisoning the group. I mean, she's totally getting into that male brain, being like, he had sex with me, and now he's trying to tell me what, and she's totally manipulating him. But I feel like I see a lot of people who aren't as alpha as Rick and Shane. Like, I think Dale is doing the same thing. He's Mr. Passive-Aggressive Manipulator. So how do you see their characters in terms of, I feel like there's a lot of different people fighting for control of the group in different ways.
I think it's really at the core, but I think everybody is just terrified, and I think that that's manifesting in different ways. I think that Laurie had just had that car wreck and had just had that confrontation with Shane and had just experienced another moment where Rick was not there for her.
Yeah.
And I think that she was trying to activate him to a certain extent to kind of fix the problems that she was perceiving. And I think that all of that comes from fear. I think that everything that Shane does that seems to be somewhat dark. Are they making fun of me? What are you doing? Pay attention, guys. But I think it all comes from the fact that everyone is terrified. I think that Dale doing all the things that he's doing, it's because he's scared, and that's what this world is. Everyone is terrified of everything around them and trying to make sense of it all and figuring out how they're going to live. And it's got them interacting with each other in really different ways.
Yeah. Now we're starting to see them interacting with other people, like that sort of rogue group, where, we talked about this a little bit on the show, where Glenn Mazzara said they cast that Michael Raymond James is a fairly recognizable actor, so then you go, oh, that guy's probably going to be a character now, and then blam! And he said you guys sort of did that on purpose, just to throw people off the trail a little bit.
Yeah, that was something that the writers' room, I think it was Glenn Mazzara and Evan Riley, who wrote that episode, really pushed for. They wanted that guy to have weight, and they wanted it to be, a really memorable scene. And I think having an actor of that caliber come in to do such a small role is very important, because, that scene in particular was really the first time that they've ever had any kind of really dangerous interaction with another human being. When they encountered the Vatos in the first season, they actually kind of figured out that, they were all going to be able to work together and all that kind of nonsense. So this was really the episode where you see that, like the comic book series, the zombies are eventually going to be a manageable threat, and it's going to be the other people in this world that they're really going to have to look out for. And is Rick going to be prepared to handle that? Oh, by the way, he is.
Right.
So that's a very important scene.
I'm curious about Daryl's character. Do you think he would be satisfied just to go live in the woods by himself forever? Or do you think some part of him needs other people?
I think he likes being around other people. I think now that he's not in the film of his big brother and whatever style of life that was before, he's starting to feel good about having interaction with other people for the first time. It's kind of like his coming out party in a weird way.
Yeah.
He's starting to have relationships, I think, for the first time. So I think it's interesting to watch somebody who can't communicate be forced to communicate. You know what I mean?
I kind of like seeing him do that little kid thing where he's just far enough, he's staying just far enough outside the group to be like, I don't need you guys, I want to make sure you can hear me and I don't need you. Like,
I love it. And that last scene with he and Carol, when he's like, you don't have anybody left, you don't have a husband, you don't have a daughter, and he's basically saying all that shit to himself.
Yeah.
He could be saying all those lines in his change mode. He's saying things, he's starting to learn about himself, which is super interesting to watch.
Yeah. Do you think Glenn's character, do you think he really could resist being with Maggie if it meant like, we need to survive, I can't be in love, I can't have these emotional ties to anyone?
Like I said about messing up this thing, it really is. I guess to anyone living in that situation, like coming from an outside perspective, like someone who's watching the show, it could seem like, well, dude, it's sex and love. Like, why wouldn't you?
Right.
Like, why would you even think the other way? I think I think if you look at Glenn's past, which is, he's a pizza delivery guy, it seemed like he didn't have much going for him, and I think it was that made him see that this new situation where the world is almost ending, he can make something of himself. He can be the hero that he couldn't be before.
He can be the hero. I love that. If you want to write that into the show, him singing that song, I give you permission to take my idea.
On set.
Yes.
And so, that was his thing. He was like, I'm going to risk my life because if I go out and I die, then I die a martyr and a hero, and I can live with myself saying that that's what I did for the world.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have other things to live for. I mean, he doesn't know if his family's still alive, so for him, he's just grasping on whatever's around him and being fulfilled by helping the other person next to him. And then now that he does have that back, he has to battle with himself of whether is he a hero that he wanted to be, or is he a wuss? Is he a normal person? Is he going to give into the world that's chaotic? Like, what's he going to? It's just tons of things going on in his head. So I think
He's mad pie.
yeah. What? That too is in his head. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think there's so much going on in his head. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes from here.
Why, in this situation, what is it that you think that makes these characters not give up? Like, what makes them go? When every external sign seems to be like, there's really no hope and most everyone's dead. What keeps these people going?
I think maybe that's just human nature. I mean, human nature is to just survive, regardless if you're barely surviving. You still do it, and there are those people that sometimes don't, and they just eat it. And I think that's what's powerful about the show too, is that it's a glimpse into the whole world right now. It feels like it doesn't feel like it's going to end, but everybody's all scared about 2012, or there's a whole financial crisis and stuff like that. And I think this show embodies the idea of being able to see what it would be like if all those things that we're afraid of happened. And it's nice to fantasize about, what would you do and identify with which character? Like, would you go like Shane's route and go ballistic? Would you go Rick, try to keep society alive? Would you go like Glenn, where you're confused and you don't know what's going to happen? Would you go like Daryl and eat squirrels?
Damn squirrel eaters. Sounds like it.
Squirrels.
And also sort of challenging the idea of, like, Herschel's character, challenging the idea of spirituality, and it's, what does it all mean? And then, like, the first episode back, just that powerful moment of him going, I can't believe what an idiot I was. They were dead so long ago, and I just didn't see it. Is he just completely spiritually bankrupt now? Do you think, or do you think he'll get back on this?
He's at least spiritually taking a break right now, so we'll see where all that goes. I mean, it's going to be really interesting seeing what Herschel does over these next few episodes, because, he has been in a very well-defined role thus far in the show, and, the barn incident and Sophia being in there, and, having to finally deal with the death of his wife, which is something he's been kind of putting off to a certain extent, is really going to inform his actions moving into these next few episodes, and I think you're going to see him doing some interesting stuff. I think Dave Navarro will probably not be so excited to have him die after he sees this.
Yeah, that was kind of weird that he wouldn't let that go. He was kept over.
That's a Talking Dead inside joke for everybody that I heard going, what? Dave Navarro? What is he talking about?
He was great, though. I was shocked.
No, he wasn't. He was critical of this show.
I like how much he knew, though.
He was very passionate about the show, and when Dave Navarro did Talking Dead, his concerns with Glenn were like, I want to see more zombie stuff in the first half of the season. Glenn was like, it's coming, but we had to... No, Glenn Mazzara. I mean Glenn Mazzara, the producer. And he said, we just have to build, Glenn's background is like the Shield. Like, he wants to build the relationships between the characters so that then when you introduce zombies into the scene, you really kind of understand where everyone's coming from. But Dave Navarro kept saying, like, you should kill Herschel. And we're like, why? He was just being a wiener about Herschel.
I did hear this. Glenn Mazzara told me backstage that Dave Navarro revealed to him that he's just terrified of older people. That was kind of weird.
But he was really, but I didn't ever feel like he was attacking the show to attack it. He was just, he's a fan and he's very passionate, and he just, everyone kind of has their own ideas about what they want to see. But how does that, like, as the guy who created this universe, and people go, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? What is your reaction to that? Like,
Yeah, my reaction is like, it's a lot of work, man. Let me do my thing. Like, what do you want from me? But no, I mean, I'll say that the Dave Navarro thing to me, and I told you this in private, I thought that was awesome because it gives The Talking Dead as a show legitimacy. You know, it shows that it's not just a puff piece where people get on there and talk about how much they love The Walking Dead. Like, to actually see that fan interaction, you know, being broadcast was really cool. But, and that in particular, Dave Navarro loves this show.
He does.
He would not have been having that conversation if he didn't absolutely love the show.
Yeah.
And even when people are being critical of something that I've done, you know, I always have to remind myself, like, it's much worse for them to not care about it.
Right.
You know, like I've done projects before where I've never gotten negative feedback, and that's a pretty clear indication that there aren't enough people, you know, paying attention to your thing, you know?
That's a good thing to remember because the internet can be a den of negativity sometimes, and so it is good to remember, like, well, that's just because people are paying attention.
But you shouldn't spoil the end of Godfather 2. I don't care how
I know, you know, we're very loose-lipped on our podcast, so it happens sometimes. Oh, here's what I want to ask you about Herschel. Since these characters live in your head, what's his backstory? Can you talk about his backstory? They do. Stop it, Herschel! Are you like shouting at characters in the middle of it? What's Herschel's backstory? I sort of feel like he was kind of a tough redneck that sort of got drunk and did something he regretted, and that's why he kind of got on this super straight path. And I felt like we were seeing that a little bit sitting at the bar, like, this old Herschel that we've never seen before might be coming back because that's what's needed in this new world.
Yeah, and we'll be seeing a little bit more of that moving forward. I mean, one of the things to pay attention to is the age of Maggie and Beth when compared to Herschel. He's actually a fairly old father when you look at the ages of his two daughters. And, you know, I like to think that he was this guy, you know, this wild and crazy, you know,
maybe
kind of badass guy. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe he sees a lot of shade in himself, and that's why they have so much conflict. And then later in life, he, you know, settled down and became this, you know, the guy that we met, the quieter, you know, calmer, nicer, you know, more reserved Herschel.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, we'll probably be seeing him, you know, kind of coming back to his roots.
Kick people in the teeth. You could have like a Dave Navarro zombie and just have Herschel just like kick his face in.
Hold on, I'm gonna text Glenn Mazzaro right now.
Dave Navarro zombie angry. Do you guys have any questions that you want to ask? We should start lining up because I have a feeling that no, just hop up, just line up in front of the microphone.
There's a mic right there.
Yeah, there's a mic in the middle.
If you guys can all quickly rush to it and cause some kind of a fracas.
Yeah.
It's not often I get to say fracas.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we have
I'm gonna take these away real quick.
Whoa. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Fred.
Hey, Fred.
First a comment, wonderful show. I'm sure everybody agrees with me here.
Let me make sure your microphone's on. I think it's not for me.
Test.
No, is it? Oh yeah, it's on. Okay. Hey. Oh, I got a fart bomb on you.
You've never touched my face.
What? No, you didn't get any fart bomb on me.
Continue.
Thank you very much. I just want to say it's very refreshing to have a show where even if you're a big fan of the comic book and you watch the show and the change that you made on the show, it's shocking to some, you know, whether it's Shane or not talking to Sophia or the welcome addition to, you know, Daryl. It's still intriguing. You're still watching the show, still being surprised every week, and that's very refreshing. Most movies can't. They make changes and they get moving forward, or why do you do this, or Watchmen, or blah, 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 and all that stuff. I think it's really good. I mean, making these changes. It's really intriguing.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
really cool. And my quick question is, with David Morrison being cast as the governor, was he the only one who did the audition? Did they seek him out? Did you know?
Was he the only one that did that?
Yeah, no one else showed up.
We actually just went to a Subway near the writer's room, and he was there eating, and we were like, that guy. No, I mean, it was we've been working for a few months to find, you know, the perfect governor, and we've tested a lot of actors, and, you know, done a lot of work towards finding the perfect guy, and I'm happy to report that David Morrissey is that guy. I know that to U.S. audiences, he's not necessarily that well known because he's worked mainly in some other country. I can't remember. I don't know which one. The UK. But I will say that Charlie Adler, the artist on the comic book, is like, oh my God, my wife is so excited. That guy is such a rock star here in the UK. He's gonna be awesome. So.
She sounds really hoarse.
Charlie, bring me my gin! Bring my gin and smokes! Why was I a chimney sweep for so long? It was Lady Dickens' novel.
Charlie Adler's wife is a very lovely woman and doesn't speak anyway. So we get in trouble.
Pick your pocket. As you could say, pick your pocket, governor.
He's amazing. It was a lot of work to get David Morrissey, so he was definitely the right guy.
That's guy for casting couch.
Sure. Oh, casting couch? Nice.
Keep up with your work. Great.
That's funny how we wouldn't let him go. Like, he's the first guy that's like, no guys, I'm done with my questions. Like, no, let's keep it up there. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Karen. My partner Jason and I have a podcast called The Walking Dead Cast. We've actually had you guys.
Oh yeah, what's
We had you on twice, and Robert, we had you on too. You made a zombie stand for us, I think.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I think we asked you for a zombie stand, and you said, yeehaw!
That's wacky, right?
So, Jason asked me to ask this question. We've been loving the last 2 episodes. They've been Mazzara-led episodes, and they've been great. We love the pacing, we love everything about them. And we just wanted to know how is season 3 going to be different than what we've seen so far?
I think that what we've seen so far is very much a good indication of what you're going to be seeing in season 3. I think that Mazzara coming from the Shield school of doing TV and packing as much stuff into his episodes as possible is something that we're probably going to see more of in season 3. I know that we actually just pitched season 3 to. We just pitched season 3 to AMC, and like halfway through the pitch, we had been talking for like 2 hours, and I'm gonna stop saying P words. The mic doesn't seem to like it, but it's a lot of stuff, and it's gonna be very dense, and there's a lot of cool stuff coming up, and I think people are really gonna be blown away. And maybe I would say that anyway because I have a vested interest in people watching the show, but I'm really not lying. Like it's going to be really awesome. And, we're actually having these guys into the writers' room in the next week. I think Norman's coming in on Monday, right, Norman?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And we're going to tell them a little bit of what's coming up, and I'm going to get to watch them go woo. So it'll be pretty cool.
I'm really
Yeehaw!
Oh my God, zombie.
We want you on the podcast.
Yeah, right on. All right.
No, it's not a very good podcast. I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I'm just kidding. I don't mean it.
What is your name? Hey, what's your question?
My question is for Norman. We saw last episode between Daryl and Carol having that fight, and my question is, do you think, you said that you mentioned that it was because you think part of it was saying it to himself. Do you think part of it is also him trying not to get so attached to all of the other people? Because I know he was trying to stay back and just go on his own and find Sophia. But do you think he's just trying not to get attached?
I think you're exactly right. Yeah. I think we all have like our defense mechanisms, and I think his is to just totally pull away, And also, it's always like the scaredest little animals that bite first. So I think behind all that badassness, he's a character. Which, makes him interesting.
A lot of giggling going on over there. That's called the Norman effect.
Yeah, you're totally right. He wants to pull away. He's shouting with his. Yeah, that's a good observation.
Hi.
I don't want to distract you from your
I was trying to Google farts, but I didn't have an account to get on the room link. So I got that. I don't know whose computer this is. I was so horrified that I was going to open it up and it was just like Bukkake Paradise! You never know.
That's my computer!
Oh, sorry. This is your computer? So there's scripts on here?
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Oh.
You're Googling farts, right?
I've never Googled farts before. I've just never thought to do it. But when I get home...
My question was for Rob. You had pretty good luck with the introduction of the Daryl character. Are you going to be introducing any more original characters in the third season?
Yeah, I think, yeah, we definitely are, I can say that. There's always going to be, some characters that haven't been in the comic, like Dave and Tony, who were very long-lived characters in our 8th episode of the season. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be new characters that haven't been in the comic, and then other characters that were in the comic but haven't appeared yet.
Excluded from the show?
So far, yes. There's guys like Donna and Alan and the twins that haven't quite made it in, but I can't say that they're never going to be in the show. They just haven't been in the show yet. So there definitely isn't any character in the comic book where we've gone, oh yeah, we're never going to put that guy in. It's really just a matter of we haven't gotten to them yet.
Thank you.
Cool.
What is your name?
Ryan?
Hey, Ryan, what's your question?
Robert, have you ever pushed back against any changes that the writers or the other writers wanted to make to the story, or have you more than receptive to?
We had a big debate the other day in the writers' room about whether or not we were going to shave Steven's head. And I was saying that we definitely have to, and they were all saying, no, no, and I was saying, I want his head shaved. Anyway,
You guys clap now. I'm not kidding. My head is disgusting.
we can see your face, it's a pretty good indication. Low-hanging fruit.
You know RoboCop when he turns into RoboCop and they're like, his face looks like it goes way beyond his actual face. You know what I mean? That's what I would look like RoboCop.
I like
That sounds awesome to me.
I like the way that you described his almost being murdered and put through all the surgery. Like, remember when he turned into RoboCop after the attempted murder, the painful surgery? Everyone should shave their head one time.
I've never shaved my head.
Okay, guys, stop. So just to answer your question really quick.
He quit on that.
Yeah, okay.
He's done that.
Quitter.
He really did quit on that.
Quitter.
So yes was the answer to your question.
Yes. No, I mean, luckily, the guys working with me in the writer's room, some of them remember the comic better than I do, and everyone is very much on board to, stay true to the comic and do it justice, and I haven't really ever had to step in and say, no laser dogs. So.
After 94 issues of the comic, do people come up to you and go, oh, remember that one thing? And you just forgot because it's been so many years and there's been so much that's gone on?
Not really, actually. I remember everything.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect. What is your name?
Dakota?
What is your question, Dakota?
It's for you.
Robert. It's for the bearded guy.
He didn't remember my name. It was that guy.
So my question is, who the fuck are
you? Sorry. That's okay.
Robert. We see Rick kill 2 humans.
Yeah?
What I'm thinking is he going to get more violent throughout the next season and this season?
Yes.
In the preview for the upcoming episode, he extracts a zombie and just stabs him in the head, no remorse. When usually he has remorse killing something.
Have you read the comic book? No? Well, I mean, if you... that's fine. I completely... I was just going to say, the answer to the question is yes. Rick is going to be much more violent and much darker, and, that's what this world is just going to do to people. I think that, he did kill those 2 people in cold blood, and, they offered a clear threat to his family. They were definitely indicating that they were going to try and follow them back to that farm, whether they liked it or not, and he had no choice. And the fact that he's able to make those decisions is very important in his role as leader of the group. And also the fact that he has done this, it's really good. We're going to start moving into the exploration of how this affects him. Him being forced to do these things in order to survive, and then having to deal with them after is really what the show is about. And if you've seen the comic, the trajectory that character is on, and the things that he goes through, and how that makes him do even crazier and crazier things is kind of the fun of The Walking Dead. So, we'll be seeing that with every character. I mean, we're probably going to see Norman's character, Daryl, actually get more violent. He's going to start getting like 2 squares. But yeah, and then this guy will eventually be an action hero. So, I mean, watching these, it's going to be great. A bald action hero. He'll be like a young Asian Bruce Willis. That's what makes this stuff cool. Watching these characters grow and change over time, being able to go back to season 1 and go, hey, look at that. There's Rick being kind of scared, and then watching season 2 and going, oh, look at that. There's a dude blowing a guy's head off. That's really what's awesome about The Walking Dead.
I knew it was over for Scrawny Tony when he basically said he was going to rape everyone and then peed on the floor. Like, that guy's not getting out of here alive. He's not getting out of here alive. Thanks, Dakota. Do you have another question, or are you good?
Steven and Norman, thanks for my bag.
Yeah, dude. Hells yeah.
Do you want to snap me?
Sorry, I'm a little short here.
Oh, that's okay.
Typical like comments.
It's okay.
My question's probably been asked before, but I'm nice.
Hi. Hello.
Zombies terrified the crap out of me when I was little. How did...
When you were little. I don't understand what everyone's so upset about.
Let me rephrase that. When I was young.
Oh, okay, guys.
Hey, Chris Hardwick, you're not the biggest man I've ever seen.
What are you talking about? You're saying 5'10" of this hulking man meat isn't, 5'10" in boots, really.
That's okay. You're 5'10" in boots. You've got like 9 inches on me. I'm 5'1" on a good day.
Oh, on a good day. Oh, 4'10", what a crappy day. 2 more inches tomorrow.
Who else wants to talk about how tall they are?
Zombies, not zombies.
Okay, sorry, that was my fault.
Zombies terrified me when I was younger.
Gotcha.
Much better.
How did Sophia, how did she be able to act with all the zombies? How was she comfortable with that?
She's awesome.
Yeah. Do you guys ever feel terrified at any moment? Just do it a little and you're just like, oh God.
Well, the good thing about how well Greg, all of us can say is how well Greg does the zombie offense. You see the sick, sad person behind the monster,
Right.
So you kind of look at them in a scene as these sick. You feel bad for them, which is amazing. But when they walk around and eat donuts during the craft service, you're like, what's up? But in the scenes, you kind of see the sadness. It makes it scary.
That's kind of how I got over my fear of zombies. I kind of put it together that, well, they didn't really want to be flesh-eating, brain-consuming zombies. They were one person.
Yeah.
I think a little less scared.
Or more scary, actually.
A little more scared. But yeah, that was the question.
Okay, thank you. Oh, sure.
Robert took him.
No.
You're not gonna-
No. Go ahead and ask your question. I don't want to derail this too much.
I don't know.
You can have one. I got one.
You're gonna get your snappy.
Just not in the room right now. Just save it for later.
Is the mic not working?
I don't think so, but my voice is...
Everyone enunciate.
Yeah.
Speak loudly.
First, a quick comment to Norman. My oldest daughter absolutely loves you, and as a father, I'm okay with that.
This is really awkward.
917.
There you go. And my teenage daughter loves you.
Oh, yeah! You got a 35-year-old daughter? Daughters for everyone! Dude, we need to repopulate
since I was a kid. And your comic actually completely brought me back to reading comics again. And with the announcement of the Governor's story arc coming up in season 3, that was one of the most amazing things I had ever read in comics before. And my question is about standards and practices with TV. Because of this story arc, I know with The Walking Dead on AMC, it's pushed boundaries. And then there are other shows on FX and TNT like that ridiculous Ghost Story one that takes things even farther.
You're talking about American Horror Story?
Yeah.
That show was great.
You guys are all wrong.
I'm not interested in seeing lots of male nudity.
What? Why?
I was masturbating. Oh, I let him out? Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
That's the only time I get to see male nudity when it's not me, so I welcome it.
If it was Norman, my daughter wouldn't care. But,
If it was Norman, I'd be thrilled too. I'm joking.
My question is, with how just insane that content is in that Governor's story arc, are you guys going to be able to push The Walking Dead even farther? Because I just don't see guys' balls being nailed to the ground.
You haven't been on the internet.
Well, it's the comic, right? So.
It's a valid question, though. How do you...
That scene in particular, let's just, it's going to get a little blue here for a minute. You didn't see the balls. You know, in the comic, you didn't see the balls, you kind of knew what was happening, we didn't show it, we could totally get away with that. So,
Even dealing in television, even if it's implied, that graphic, they would still be cool with it.
I mean, theoretically, yeah. I mean, we haven't gotten to that point in the process yet, but, you know, we're not planning on pulling any punches. I think that would be fairly lame. So, you know, I can say that knowing what I already know about the 3rd season, there's quite a bit of intense stuff that we've already vetted with AMC, and they're just like, yay. So,
I mean, so basically what he wants to know is just, he's basically upset that you cannot see a lot of balls being there on television, and can you provide that?
I thought you didn't like male nudity. That would be a whole different story.
But I have to say, I think sometimes it's more compelling what's happening off screen as well. It just depends on how it's, you know, how it's written and directed.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I don't feel like anybody could say that we've pulled any punches thus far. I think there are things like the zombie autopsy in our premiere episode this season that we haven't even done in the comic. That's, you know, I think that tops some of the things we've done in the comic, and I think we'll continue to do that kind of stuff. And I don't think anybody should really worry about us toning things down for the show. I think that, you know, we're going to be doing that kind of cool stuff. This guy started out by like offering up his daughters, and then was talking about male nudity and asking about balls being nailed to boards. Top-notch question.
And still had a great time.
Round of applause for that. We will finish when we're ready. This guy's asking us to wrap it up. So 9 more questions.
As a big fan of the comics,
We got 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 5.
She did this 2 times.
Yeah.
That's 10.
155.
We're good. Keep going.
And she did this, which is another 10.
I think that's like a wrestling move, right? Anyway, go ahead.
I just want to say I'm a big fan of the comics and hurry up and bring Tyrese and Sean to the show already. Have you considered writing Daryl into the comics?
I've definitely considered it.
Will you?
Good question.
I wouldn't want to give it away. I know Norman is always pestering me about it, and I will say that, look,
Watch his car.
all I can say right now is that if you have been paying attention to the internet, we did just release a series of teasers called Something to Fear. This is a new storyline that's coming up, and it's a series of very threatening looking people with very specific weapons, and one of them has a crossbow. So I'm not promising anything, but maybe.
Oh gosh,
Just tear that mic down, man. It doesn't even work.
Hello, sir. Hello. What is your question?
I have no question, I just wanted to say hello.
Sit down.
Say.
I'm not there. We don't have time for this.
What's your question?
All right, cool.
What's your name?
You're just saying hi? Oh, well, hey, what's up?
Awesome.
Very nice to meet you. I like the commitment of just, I'm going to stand in line and just say hi.
The line for saying hello is over there.
Hello.
kind of got over it. But my question is that I know Andrea is the only one that really sees that Shane also has the benefit for the group out for them, but he kind of does it in a brash, sort of cowboyish kind of way. I'm wondering if your guys' characters are seeing it the same way as he does. Does he view that Shane has the right intentions in mind, or if your guys' characters are also kind of wondering, hey, should we be doing these a little bit differently than Rick is saying for us?
I mean, I think Daryl and Shane would probably agree with a lot of stuff. I think Daryl sort of sits back and watches all this drama happen, sort of like television. He knows who's sleeping with who's overlooking certain things, and there's actually a scene where he says to Dale that he knows that about Otis. So I don't know. I think in this sort of world, I don't think there's too much room to go, oh, you're being a meanie. I mean, at least Daryl does.
He probably feels pretty comfortable because now he's like, oh look, a bunch of people are just as screwed up as I am. Like,
yeah, and I don't think Daryl's afraid of them all, but I think it's some things, the way that Shane's saying them, I think Daryl agrees.
I think everyone's looking at that, that dichotomy and looking at, is Shane the right way or is Rick the right way? And with Glenn, especially after what happened in the bar, I think he is definitely taking a step back and reassessing. So.
Cool. Nice cup statue today.
Oh, thanks, man. You can have it if you want.
Go ahead. Oh, you were going to ask for the cups? You were like a minute too late. I'm sorry. No one wants your cup.
No one wants my cup again.
You were really just going to ask for the cups? I don't believe you. Well, here's the thing. You could probably beat her up in a fight, so... if you really... I'm not encouraging it. I'm just giving them a fact. That's don't,
There you go, buddy.
Don't mess her cup. Boy, this took a turn.
What the fuck? That was my creation. Total disregard. What is
my cigarette go?
I would never want that.
What?
My name's Neil, and I just had a question about season 3. You announced that there's going to be, you announced the casting of the governor, and I've heard that you've announced that Michonne's going to be in it, but you haven't cast her yet.
That's just a rumor,
Yeah,
so
I've heard,
I can't...
that's what I'm saying.
No, yeah.
Is there going to be the prison, or is it going to show up in season 3?
Well, look, there are certain things like the governor, Michonne, and the prison that haven't appeared in the show yet that are very important parts of the comic book series. And all I can really say is that everyone involved in the television show is super excited about that stuff and is dying to get to that material. So it will happen in the show eventually. It's just a matter of when. And the specifics to when and how are things that we, kind of have to keep close to the vest. So I can't really reveal anything yet, but I can say that it's definitely going to happen.
Okay. And I have one more question. I feel like I don't know if we're going to get this, but if Dave Navarro goes away and Herschel does get turned, are you going to call him the Herschel Walker?
Kind of have to.
I think that's a football player.
I think so.
That's awesome.
As a football player, that sounds like
Good joke. Good joke.
That was just a bit. That was a joke.
Okay. We got room for 2 more questions?
Yeah, two more questions. Perfect.
Okay, good. No more standing up and don't just say hi.
What's your quick question?
My name's Zephyr.
Don't apologize. It was great. Go ahead.
Zephyr, and I just want to say I'm almost scared shitless from your show.
Yeah.
And this is a question for Norman. If you choose which character you'd want to be, Daryl, the badass redneck, or your character you played in Boondock Saints?
Which do you like more, Boondock Saints or The Walking Dead? Pick now.
I've said this before, The Walking Dead is my favorite job I've ever had.
Oh!
For a lot of different reasons. I fucking love Boondock Saints, and the fan base on that has been brilliant. But something about this show and being on the show and these people, I'm fucking loving this. And I actually love Georgia. I have a motorcycle out there, I cruise around the country. kind of heavy. So. Yeah, I'm probably Daryl.
It's nice.
Excellent.
There's no Georgia motorcycles and Boondock Saints.
Last question.
Make it good.
That microphone does not work.
Great. My question also for Norman.
What's up?
Of course, he blew it with the Boondock Saints thing. So have you got crossbows as gifts yet? Has that happened?
I actually stole the crossbow from this last
I stole a crossbow from this last season too.
It's at my house.
Wait, before you answer, could you do it in the Boondock Saints voice?
To what?
The accent.
Oh no, dude, I'm not doing that.
Dance, monkey, dance. Entertain you for free.
No.
Hey, are you gonna let this guy down? Where'd you come from? Do you live in Oakland? He flew here from Colorado just to hear this. You're not gonna do this for him? Are you kidding me?
Get your